A message from our sponsor Survey Oasis Paid Surveys. Participate at your leisure. Visit surveyoasis.com for more information. In the 13th century, Swiss peasants rose up against their Hapsburg rulers, sparking a series of rebellions that would lay the groundwork for the country's unique system of direct democracy. The peasants, primarily from the cantons of Uri, Schwyz, and Unterwalden, were driven by a desire for autonomy and self-governance. They saw the Hapsburgs as oppressive and resented the heavy taxation and feudal obligations imposed upon them. One of the earliest recorded instances of direct democracy in Switzerland was the 1291 Federal Charter of Uri, Schwyz, and Unterwalden. This charter established a loose confederation of the three cantons, with a system of popular assemblies and a federative referendum. This allowed the cantons to make decisions collectively and gave citizens a say in the governance of their communities. The Swiss peasants' struggle for independence continued throughout the Middle Ages, with several notable battles against the Hapsburgs. One such battle was the 1315 Battle of Morgarten, where a heavily outnumbered Swiss force defeated the Hapsburg army. This victory cemented the Swiss reputation for military prowess and further solidified their desire for self-governance. The Swiss system of direct democracy was also influenced by the American and French revolutions. The ideas of liberty, equality, and fraternity resonated with the Swiss people, who saw parallels between their own struggles for independence and the revolutionary movements sweeping across Europe and North America. In 1848, the Swiss people took a significant step towards direct democracy with the introduction of the Citizens' Initiative for a total revision of the Constitution and the mandatory constitutional referendum. This allowed citizens to propose changes to the Constitution and forced the government to put these proposals to a national vote. The optional referendum was introduced in 1874, giving citizens the power to challenge laws passed by the Federal Assembly. This was followed by the introduction of the Citizens' Initiative in 1891, which allowed citizens to propose new laws or constitutional amendments. These reforms marked a significant shift towards direct democracy, giving citizens a greater say in the governance of their country. One peculiar aspect of Swiss culture is their aversion to monarchies. Unlike many of their European neighbors, the Swiss have never had a king or queen. This is reflected in their system of government, which emphasizes the power of the people rather than a monarch or elite. The Swiss also score high on the Hofstede scale for masculinity, which emphasizes competition and assertiveness. This is reflected in their love of competition, particularly in sports such as skiing and wrestling. They also score high on the Uncertainty Avoidance Index, which suggests that they are comfortable with ambiguity and uncertainty. This is reflected in their willingness to experiment with new forms of governance and their tolerance for dissenting opinions. In the 20th century, direct democracy in Switzerland continued to evolve. The referendum on international treaties was introduced in 1921, allowing citizens to have a say in foreign policy decisions. This was extended in 1977 and 2003, giving citizens even greater control over the country's international relations. The creation of the resolutive referendum in 1949 restricted the ability of the Federal Assembly to avoid referendums by declaring laws to be emergency measures. This ensured that citizens had a greater say in the governance of their country, even in times of crisis. In 1987, the double yes option was introduced, allowing citizens to vote on both an initiative and a counterproposal. This gave citizens even greater control over the legislative process, allowing them to choose between competing proposals. Today, Switzerland is one of the most direct democracies in the world. Citizens have a significant say in the governance of their country, and the system of direct democracy has been refined over centuries to ensure that power remains in the hands of the people. The Swiss people's struggle for independence and self-governance has created a unique system that is the envy of many around the world.